Blockchain and Internet of Things combined. IoT chain coming up next. Welcome to Crypto Stamp, the place to be for crypto reviews and crypto news. Today I'm going to be talking about IoT Chain, a high security Lite IoT OS or an Lite IOTA. Let's first of all take a look at the price. At the current moment, they are sitting at 83 USD cents. They came from an all-time high of over $850, all back to 80 cents, even 75 cents. You can trade it on primarily Korean exchanges like Huobi, OKX, Buybox, Qcoin, and Coinbini. But what is IoT Chain? First of all, we're going to go through their white paper, through their team, through their social networks, and through their frequently asked questions. Let's start. So I downloaded their white paper and marked the most important stuff so that we don't have to go through the complete white paper. So what is IoT Chain, a high security Lite or IoT OS? Based on internet, traditional telecommunication network, and other information carriers, IoT, Internet of Things, is a network that enables interconnection between all ordinary physical objects which can be located independently. Through IoT, all the things can be connected to the internet for information exchange and communication to realize intellectualized recognition, location, tracking, monitoring, and management. So if you don't know what Internet of Things is, it's practically all your technological devices combining and working together to create a better environment, a better working project, or a better working company. It can be 1,001 different things combined. IoT has been called the third wave of the world's information industry development following the computer and internet. Since IoT is an expansion of internet, it should be referred as business and application rather than network. Hence, innovation of application is the core of the IoT development, and creation centered on user experience is the soul. From 2013 to 2018, the compound growth rate will be 21%, and the number of newly increased IoT devices, like your smartphone, will rise from 1.6 billion in 2015 to 3 billion in 2019. Here you see a graphical design of the market cap of IoT devices. As you see, in 2013, they had $400 million, $100 as a market scale, and now IoT has over $1 billion of market scale. The number of IoT devices will exceed the sum total of PC, tablet PC, and smartphones in 2018 and reach 20.4 billion in 2020. So that's the amount of devices that there will be in 2020. In the future, everything will be interconnected, from a cup to a house, and IoT will spread across every aspect of our life. Imagine that you enter your house and your door recognized that you just entered, and it sends a direct message to your coffee machine to put some nice tasting coffee for you. That's an example of IoT. Every device in your current life connected to each other so that it can enhance your experience with technology. But what are the challenges that IoT Chain wants to take on? Well, the first of them is the traditional attack techniques that are used to damage IoT devices. They give this word botnets of things instead of Internet of Things, where they mean that Internet of Things networks can get attacked, for example, with a DDoS attack. A DDoS attack is the attack that overloads servers and that makes it quite impossible to go on a certain website, like for example happened to Twitter and PayPal. This of course happens because there is a centralized point that can be hacked. Centralized management structure cannot prove its innocence. An individual private data leak has happened occasionally, so even data gets leaked through these attacks. For example, in May 2017, People's Daily Online once reported that 266 cameras in Chengdu, China were enforced for webcast. So just to give this just a really great example for how dangerous it can be to have these servers centralized. Here you see that 266 cameras where ordinary people were just being filmed got published online. Of course, this could have dangerous consequences, and that's not what it should happen. So, what's the solution from IoT Chain to solve this? Well, IoT Chain has adopted the asymmetrical encryption. As long as the private key is kept properly, the data cannot be cracked, even if it's collected. At the same time, all the nodes in ITC are equal, which protects the user's privacy. Moreover, based on the character that blockchain cannot be tampered, the manufacturers and service providers won't be able to tamper users' information, so our data cannot be abused. What is the second challenge that IoT Chain wants to take on? Well, the high costs of centralized architecture. The costs of IoT are still extremely high. Most existing IoT solutions require huge investments. For IoT, the equipment manufacturer enterprises don't have enough profits to make up the money for supporting and maintaining the equipment for a long period. So IoT is still not quite lucrative. So this means that people have to put money in without getting a lot back. But what is the solution that IoT Chain has for this problem? Well, the future of IoT Chain shall have tens of thousands of nodes, and they will be absolutely adequate to meet the needs of IoT data storage. With a combination of blockchain distributed ledger technology and thanks to the decentralization of blockchain, there is no need for a highly intensive computer cluster, making the prices really high. Both technologies have dramatically reduced the operating and maintaining costs of the whole Internet of Things. So this was a small introduction to IoT Chain and what they want to solve and how. Now they're going to be talking about more specific stuff. Let's go down. Here you have it. So due to the centralized design of traditional IoT architecture, the user behavioral data is stored in the central servers controlled by the merchants. Thus, the user's data is prone to be leaked out, and the user's privacy as well as safety will face severe threats. The blockchain has provided decentralized IDs and technology, which are very suitable for the self-service and self-maintenance and self-transaction and shares between machines in IoT industry. But there are still some key problems to be solved when applying the blockchain technology in IoT, such as the form of consensus, quick pay on small amount and protection of data privacy. For these problems, IoT has brought up its own solutions, including PBFT, SPV, DAG, and CPS cluster technology, big data analysis, smart contracts, chain code, and so on. And we will be discussing each of these points. So the first one, technical architecture. PBFT. One of the core problems of blockchain is establishing consensus between nodes. Different consensus algorithms will create different performances. The practical Byzantine fault tolerance, the PBFT, is a state machine replication algorithm based on the consistency of message passing. Through three stages, namely pre-prepare, prepare, and confirm stage, this algorithm provides a fault tolerance on the premise of ensuring the activity and safety. The blockchain technology based on PBFT consensus algorithm has been applied in digital currency of Central Bank of China, booming blockchain, and IBM's Hyperledger. So this technology already has been tested on bigger projects, and which is being used successfully at the moment. By adopting PBFT consensus protocol, ITC has greatly improved the main chain processing performance on the premise of achieving consensus of the main chain decentralization. DEAG. Bitcoin's transaction performance has become worse, and transaction fees are growing higher and higher. DAG is a distributed architecture without any block, and it applies directed acyclic graph architecture instead of the heavy linked blockchain structure. So they want to make the transactions faster and more lighter, so that also the transaction fees can get lower. Of course, this was written before the Lightning Network. They do talk about the Lightning Network later on in the white paper, but this part, I believe, was written before the release of the Lightning Network. This not only solves the present problem of centralization of Bitcoin's mining, but also greatly improves the whole distributed network's throughput capacity, lowering the transaction costs. After analysis, we think DAG will become the basic data structure for the next generation's blockchain. DAG twisted structure can naturally suit IoT message passing mode and can bring extremely high performance for ITC and satisfy blockchain decentralization and safety at the same time. Different IoT devices nodes can adopt different security levels according to their requirements to satisfy various scenes in IoT ecosystem. Then SPV, simply payment verification. So here it's about the payment speed, the transaction speed. SPV is a technology which can conduct payment verification without maintaining complete blockchain information as long as the block's headers are preserved. This technology can not only save the cost of blockchain payment verification, but also reduce the user's burden. So that's just a small solution to solve the speed of the transactions. Security Big Data Intelligent Analysis, Smart Contract Chain Code. ITC will become the most abundant data ecosystem in the generation of IoT and generate large amounts of data based on smart devices and user behavior. Currently, the users' data are monopolized by magnet companies and are violated and abused all the time in business, and that abuses users' data privacy, such as advertisements, recommendations, and information reselling. So, did you ever wonder why, after you went on Amazon and watched 10, 20 microphones and were deciding which one was the best, and afterwards, after you bought the microphone, sometimes you get tons of advertisements about microphones? Well, that's data being abused, your personal data being abused by these advertisement companies. In ITC, users' data belongs to themselves. Any company who intends to do big data analysis or algorithm model training of ads recommendations needs to submit chain code to ITC. With the restriction and assignment of these interfaces, contracts submitted to chain code cannot steal the user's initial data, but can obtain aggregated data used from smart business decisions. After execution of chain code, the company needs to pay ITC tokens to users, who provide the data according to the data value. In this way, ITC provides a big data analysis ecosystem where both users and companies win. CPS, ITC plus Intelligent Analysis Platform. Big data value creation system will be needed if traditional production system is transformed into smart factories producing intelligent projects. To meet this command, smart system focused on cyber-physical systems has come into being. Through core technologies including intelligent sensing and analyzing, mining, assessing, predicting, optimizing, as well as cooperating, CPS can integrate computing, communication, and control for deep collaboration to realize profound integration between physical space and cyberspace involving the object's mechanism, environment, and community. So those were the things that they want to implement in the IoT chain to make the IoT chain better than all other Internet of Things projects. Here you have a comparison of the performance of IoT chain compared to, for example, Bitcoin. You see the CPU that is needed for traditional blockchain, 2.4 gigahertz, and here 0.08 gigahertz, and RAM 8 gigabytes. You see the differences. Transaction speed of Bitcoin or Ethereum, Bitcoin 10 minutes, Ethereum 10 seconds. With ITC, it will be milliseconds. So of course it's a really big advantage. It's a lot faster than Bitcoin and even a lot faster than Ethereum. Of course, transactions are a lot faster now with Bitcoin. They are not 10 minutes like they used to be. With the Lightning network, they are quite faster now. So there is one thing that I have to address. IoT chain will use microchips into the devices to implement their technology. This is quite a big difference in comparison to other IoT projects, like for example IOTA. These chips can have, of course, positive effects, but also negative effects. But it's quite a big difference, of course. Here you see a comparison between all the similar projects, IOTA, SLOC, IBM, Adept, and the Chinese projects, where you see ordinary single chip microcomputer, and the others use all different stuff. Now, the product planning. Present IoT system is a centralized intelligent device system, and ITC is a peer-to-peer node network in essence. Enough nodes are essential to ensure the whole network stability. Nodes can be divided into normal type and non-normal types. Normal types, nodes refer to the devices which remain open, but their operational capability keeps unutilized. But for non-normal devices, once they are open, they will start operating. To avoid power waste caused by proof of work, we need to find more stable normal type nodes. And I believe that was it. Here you have their roadmap. So in 2017, the main chain entered the test stage. So they are already quite advanced in their project. They have January 2018 where their wallet entered the test stage. In April the 3rd, which is soon, main chain is tests accomplishes, hopefully. In May the 20th, ITC main chain wallet test accomplished. In September the 30th, DAG network enters test stage, and in December DAG network comes online. So this will be a big date also for the price. And 2019 February joint debugging of DAG network and main network accomplishes. So it's good that they have a roadmap. Of course, they also have to be quite correct with their dates and not be, for example, like Lisk, which I still love. I love Lisk, no hate. But of course, if you give a date of, for example, September, you have to be sure that it is in September or at least in October, but not a half a year later. #Lisk. So here you have the partners. You can take a look on them. I really don't know any of them because I believe they are from China, some of them, like Shanghai, of course. And then I would like to take a look at your team. For this, I'm going to be taking a look at their website because I like to see pictures of their team. God knows why. So, Xupeng is the CEO, Xi Xiupeng, co-founder Liu Xingao. So you see primarily Asian team with really young people. Let's take a look at their LinkedIn of their CEO. So he lives in Shanghai, China, the founder and CEO of Iot Chain since 2017. And let's take a look. He was also the founder of Shanghai Swap Ceo of software development 5 years ago. So he has already some experience in this space. Let's take a look at their co-founder. Okay, let's skip this one. I can't read that. But okay, so they have quite a small team, to be honest. It's their core team, so I presume that there are more people than just these four. Their advisory board are also pretty young people, pretty unknown people, but that doesn't mean anything, of course. So let's take a look at their social networks first. So you have their Twitter, which has almost 10,000 followers. You have their Telegram with almost 12,000 followers, their Reddit with 600 followers, and their Facebook with 500 followers. Let's see if they are active on Twitter. Last post was 31st of March, 3 days ago or 2 days ago. So not so active. I would really like to see daily content on Twitter, but okay, they posted 2 days ago. It's not a drama. Last but not least, I will leave a Iot Chain frequently asked question document link down below for if you would still have some questions. If you liked the video, I hope you'll subscribe to my channel, you'll give a thumbs up on my video, and you comment below what you think about Iot Chain. I hope you liked the video, and I see you next time. Ciao.